So we are going to add example number 5 on page 651. Another famous question from chapter 7 is the pi over 12 question. This is on your pi plate. The ones that are missing, 15 degrees is missing in between 0 and 30. 75 degrees is missing. Those are all part of your pi over 12 family. So we call them pi over 12 questions. And there'll be non-calculator where you have to use find the exact value of 75 degrees and pi over 12, but we didn't put them on our pi plate. So how do we find them? We're going to use our alpha beta formulas. The strategy is use your pi plate, the families that you know, which is pi over 3, pi over 4, and pi over 6, and add or subtract them to get whichever pi over 12 family you want.
Can I get Eva down to the office?
And if we take each of our families that we know, we could get a common denominator of 12. So pi over 3 is 4 pi over 12, pi over 4 is 3 pi over 12, and pi over 6 is 2 pi over 12. Can you see how you could add or subtract to get 1 pi over 12? And often you can find more than one way. For example, can you see that you could get 1 pi over 12 by taking 4 pi over 12 and subtracting 3 pi over 12? Or you could take 3 pi over 12 and subtract 2 pi over 12. And it doesn't matter which one you choose, they will all give you the right answer in the end. So step 1, for figuring out cos of pi over 12, I choose 2 of them to subtract. And 4 pi over 12 is pi over 3, and 3 pi over 12 is pi over 4. So now I have an alpha minus beta formula, where pi over 3 is my alpha, and pi over 4 is my beta. So if I go to my formula sheet and plug things in, cos alpha minus beta formula is cos alpha cos beta plus sine alpha sine beta. And all of those are on your pi plate. 1/2 or root 3 over 2? Cos pi over 4? You have all these. Sine of pi over 3, is that one 1/2 or is that root 3 over 2? How did you do? Cos of pi over 3 is 1/2. Cos of pi over 4, root 2 over 2. Sine of pi over 3, root 3 over 2. And sine of pi over 4 is root 2 over 2. Now we have exact answers. The last thing you have to do is just combine things to a single fraction. So I can multiply those fractions first, and they'll both have a common denominator of 4, so I'll have root 2 plus root 6 all over 4. So pi over 12 questions, what's going to happen is you have to find 2 things that add or subtract to give you pi over 12. Questions can be in radians, or in part 2, in B, I had one in degrees. Can you come up with 75 degrees by adding or subtracting? Absolutely. Would you agree 45 degrees plus 30 degrees is 75? You could do 120 minus 45. That would work too. There's lots of different options, and they all give you the right answer. So I'll let you write this one down. There's your formula for sine alpha plus beta. So these first ones, really straightforward because it was really easy to add or subtract. But you can get any pi over 12. So the next one that we're going to do, and what we're going to do, we're going to start next class with this, but I'm going to give you a bigger pi over 12. 17 pi over 12. You have to find out two things from your pi plate that add or subtract to equal 17 pi over 12. And as soon as you find one, you're going to put up your hand and show me. And if it's right, I put it up on the board, and then everybody else has to find a different one. All of you have to find a different one than what's up on the board. There's infinite amount that work. Things on your pi plate that add or subtract to get 17 pi over 12. Best way is to just try two things and see how close you get.